welcome back. Okay, chain sprockets has arrived at last, and I'm putting it up to a 530 conversion rather than the 525 that's on there. I think that's a wise move. It's also recommended by DID. I've only got an XJR with a turbo, potentially 180 to 200 horsepower. What did they recommend? They said, just to play it safe, 530 will cover everything. That'll cover up to about 400 horsepower, so that's absolutely fine for that. And it's a nice way to do it. It doesn't cost any more, so why not? It's all about the safety. I'm going to do that today, but I have done these videos in the past. I've done 2 or 3 chain and sprocket videos where I've done them up close and personal, in detail, every little bit. Those videos are still there for you to go and see and enjoy and learn from, so this one doesn't need to be one of them. So we're going to try and do this quick. We're going to try and do it in real time. To check the clock, it is 25 past 10 right now, so I'm going to try and do this in about 2 hours, I reckon. It shouldn't be that long a job, though. Hopefully that'll give you a bit of confidence if you're going to do something like this yourself. It really only is a couple of hours work. If you went to your local dealership, I reckon they'd cost out about 1.5 hours to 2 hours labour to do a chain of sprockets. It's not involved, it's just a little bit of to and fro, but I'll show you how it's done bit by bit in real time, and we'll see. There's the clock now, 20 past 10, see if I can do it by 11:30. Should we get going, Pen?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get stuck in. Welcome back. Right, now in changing chains and sprockets, one of the biggest challenges is holding the front sprocket still, or holding that nut still while you undo it. So it's going to be tight no matter what. So holding it still is always a challenge. Now some people, I've always used in the past the pinning the chain method, where you wrap it around the axle, stick a screwdriver through it and pin it. That is for extreme cases. As many of you have pointed out to me that you got by just as well by putting the back brake on, and that holds the back wheel still, and then the chain holds the front sprocket still. So before we get involved in extreme methods, we're going to try that first. Now obviously on any chain and sprockets job, the brake that you need to operate to hold the back wheel still is the wrong side. It's the opposite side to where you're working. Obviously it is, the brake's on the one side and the chain and sprocket's on the other. So in that sense you have to hold the brake on while being the other side of the bike. So a little bit of initiative, and this is what I do. Works a treat. One of these. Clamp the brake pedal down like that. Not too hard, because these have got enormous clamping force and you don't want to go bursting seals. That really isn't moving. Let's give it a go. Alright, 36 mil. There you go. That Lady Luck was smiling today, Penny P.
It sure was.
Now that doesn't always work. You won't always be that lucky that it just cracks. Sometimes it is so tight. I've had situations with this where I've been swinging on a 3-foot bar, and I think loads of you out there have had the same situation. You can use an impact gun. If you've got a windy gun, you can use that. That's what any technician in a workshop would probably do. But I just have this personal view that sending all that impact shock again and again on an impact gun right through your transmission with all those hardened steel teeth in there, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. It's probably not harmful in any way whatsoever, but that's just me, and it's my bike, so I want to take care of it. Here we go. The difference in those sprockets. Talk about worn out. I don't think that was a day too soon, do you, Pet?
Not really.
Okay. Right. Right, there we are, that's that done. It took a bit longer in real time than I expected. 2 hours is what we predicted, and there we are, 1 o'clock now, so 2.5 hours, just a bit over. But it does take slightly longer, you know yourself when you're filming anything, it takes longer. You've got to set up the shot, get it exactly right. And when Penny Pit stops directing, you know, it always takes a bit longer. Anyway, so there we go. Also, you know, therefore, that was done in real time, using all of the right tools, doing everything correctly, measuring everything, getting it all right, only took 2 hours. If that was a qualified mechanic or technician, probably knocked that out in an hour and a half quite easy. So any garage charging you more than 2 hours to do that job, he's probably having a tea break in the middle. No, right now.
Like I do.
Like you do sometimes. There we are. So thanks ever so much for watching that. I've left it a little bit loose at the moment. I think with any chain sprockets, when you first fit it, don't necessarily worry too much about the chain tension. Get it roughly right. Take it for a little test ride, nice and gently. Perhaps do 5 miles without nailing it. Just nice and gently, build up some power, put a little bit of pull on it, come on back, and then check it once again. And you may well find it's just took a little bit of slack into it where it's bedded and settled down. Then after another 50 miles, make sure you check it again, because the chain of sprockets does bed in over the first 50 miles or so, so always make sure you do that. And again, lubricate the chain. This has got this delivery grease, this white waxy grease stuff which it comes with, but that's not good enough for everyday use. I'm going to wipe all that off when the time comes, and I'll put some Worth dry chain lube on that to make sure it's properly lubricated, because it's a fantastic chain. We've upgraded to a JT front sprocket, as you saw, pretty much the same as on it, but that front one, as you did see, it was absolutely worn out. So I'm glad now that with the potential power this thing makes, I've got safe chain sprockets, and I don't think that front sprocket was safe at all. It didn't have many months left, did it?
Don't think so.
On its last leg. So there we are, that's that job knocked out. I've got 4 or 5 more bits and pieces to do, and I reckon this will be on the road. As you saw, the paint work is already in base coat now. Mackie's coming down very shortly, and we're going to start to get the paint work. Once that's done, straight on the bike, paint the wheels. I think she's out in the sunlight, because I just want to enjoy some of the summer before it goes. It's already August. There we are. Anything else, Ben?
That's it, thank you.
That'll do. Thanks ever so much for all your support. We really appreciate all your kind messages, the message of support for all manner of reasons. I think you know what we mean. Thank you so much for that. It is very, very welcome and very much appreciated. Take it easy, ride safe, and we'll see you next time.